Hey, welcome back to the No Comfort Zone. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about practice what you preach and the conversation I had with my wife about depression. I'll see you on the inside.
Welcome.
Attention, please.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome to the No Comfort Zone podcast. It's time to get out of your comfort zone and live on purpose. Broadcasting to the world from Rockford, Illinois. This is your wake-up call.
Warning.
You are the solutions to all your problems. Stop thinking average. Become the hero version of yourself. Every day, every time, without fail, no exceptions. It all matters. You've entered the No Comfort Zone. It's time for a reality check.
We are back at it again here in the No Comfort Zone. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for being a listener of this podcast. And more importantly, I appreciate the fact that you've taken time out of your day to actually post this on social media because the podcast is still growing. And I greatly appreciate it. Last time I did this call to action, a bunch of people threw it up on social media and Instagram and stuff. And I just want to say thank you so much for doing that. Reached out to a few people and I have some new connections. And more importantly, if you've got something going on in your life and you want to reach out to me via email, or if you just want to actually have a call, do me a favor. Go to the website, thenocomfortzone.com, thenocomfortzone.com. And I want you to schedule some time on the calendar. And my goal, my hope is that I can actually get you on that 20-minute call, go over the 3 things you're looking to do in your life, and give you a plan in 20 minutes that I use to help beat my addiction, to lose a bunch of weight, to gain success in my business, to better my speaking career, and increase my net worth, and all those other things. So I just wanted to share that with you, that this blueprint is rock solid. It's helped a few people, and I'd like to help a few more. So if you'd be kind enough, go to thenocomfortzone.com, get on my calendar so I can reach out and give you a call, and we can schedule that time. And also any ratings, reviews, or anything you can give me on Apple iTunes, I would greatly appreciate it. A shout out on Apple iTunes goes a long way because other cool people just like you can find the podcast. But the reason why we're talking about this isn't to promote me. I want to offer you some value today based on a conversation that I had with my dear wife of 10 years. As you know, I've been actually divorced twice. I've been living emotionally for a long time in my life, and I have decided to get rid of the emotions, just live in passion and live on purpose versus anything else other than that. Fear, anxiety, and manic, anything like those sort of things. I wanted those out of my life, and I really wanted to have a consistent plan where I can actually go forward and I can start to work on myself and actually start to live in accomplishment and start to achieve some of the goals that have been eluding me for so long. Although a lot of people thought I was successful, deep down inside, it was not the case. I had no value in myself. I did not believe in myself. But on the outside, you look at it and go, okay, the guy's doing okay. The guy's pretty happy. The guy's got good relationships. But I was dying on the inside. And I realized that's because I wasn't living on my passion. I wasn't living on purpose. And I wasn't living in my passion, to put the two together. So why this is important and why I'm having this conversation now is as we always do, we reevaluate our goals in our house. We look at where we're at. We look at where we're going. We find it fun. It's one of those things that we do just because there is so much that life has to offer, and we do want to get the most out of it. And that's why you listen to this podcast. You're looking for an opportunity for you to get the most out of life. I'm going to strongly suggest that you start something new, whatever that might be. Heck, it might even be something as simple as trying a new sport, going canoeing, try something new. Just get outside of that little bubble comfort zone and realize that there's more to life than what you're doing right now. Do something new. Get different foods. Try eating some new things, going to the grocery store and buy different things other than what you normally do. Look at recipes that you normally would never consider before and just work towards those. Try it. It's amazing what happens when you put some variety in your life. What I want to talk to you about is what my wife said to me about practicing what I preach. Now that's pretty difficult, especially when I hear practice what I preach, because I do practice what I preach. Not in all areas of my life, ladies and gentlemen. I'm human and I'm trying to get better. This podcast, by recording it, actually helps me to get better. But more importantly, I can connect with the next person who might be in a spot that maybe I was a little while ago, or the person I was 30 years ago, and I can help you get from point A to point B. And that's what I'm doing. I myself am trying to get from point A to point B. I'm trying to increase my net worth. I'm trying to increase the activities that I do in my life. I'm trying to get more physically fit. I'm trying to read more books. I'm trying to do more. I'm trying to live more. And yeah, I definitely want to have more. So by sharing this with you from where I was at and where I'm at now, I've been practicing what I'm preaching. But my wife said something the other night. She goes, you need to do more of that. And I'm like, I asked her a question. I said, do you have any idea why I spend so much time listening and reading books on mental health, on goals, on positivity, on mindset, on success, on failure, and why I'm actually writing my book on success and failure and everything in the no comfort zone and the mindset that goes along with it? She's like, why is that? I said, because every day that I wake up, I have a tendency to lead towards depression. What does that mean? I look at my life and I say to myself, I'm not where I want to be at yet. And that's really uncomfortable for a lot of people. It's like, aren't you happy with what you have? You have a lot. You have a lot of good things in your life. You have friends, you have family, you have health, aren't you grateful? I said it on the last podcast. I'm very grateful for what I have, but you got to turn that gratefulness, you got to really appreciate it. You have to go to a place in your life where all the things that you take for granted, you have to start to really write down. What do I take for granted? Simple things, a hot shower, heck, water, a place over your head. You start to actually do these things. And what you end up doing is you end up putting yourself into an environment where you're very grateful for the things that are around you. And it's okay to want more. It's okay to want to do more. It's okay to want to have more and be more. It's okay for that. But when I wake up and I start going over my goals, I don't have this yet. I haven't done this yet. I'm still working on this. This book has been the bane of my existence for the longest time. It's one of the most therapeutic, bothersome, obsessive things I've ever done in my life. My son, who's 12, keeps asking me, when's the book going to be done? When's the book going to be done? And I keep coming up with saying, I'm still working on it. Well, now I'm really forced because I said I would have the book done. I even might have alluded that it was already done already, but I got to rewrite. And now I'm at a point right now where it's going to come hell or high water in May of this year, which is where we're at now. It's May the 4th. It's going to be done, and I'm going to put it out there to the masses. And if you're interested in getting a pre-copy of it or something, I don't even know how to do this yet. I'm working on the marketing of it. Hit me up, Dan at the No Comfort Zone, and say you're interested in the book, and I will send you over a draft of it, like before it's an actual book, before it gets published. And I'll send that out to you. And the reason why I want to do that is because I know truly that there's a fundamental process in that book with my stories that will help you get out of your comfort zone and start living on purpose. Because that's where the magic happens, baby, right? That's what people say about the no comfort zone. Live outside of your comfort zone. That's where the magic happens. That life begins outside of your comfort zone. Well, I took that shit seriously, and I decided, you know what, if I really want to live my life and I want to start feeling better about myself and get out of this depressed state, what do I need to do? I'm going to give you the first part of the mindset right now, and I do this on a lot of podcasts. So listen to what I'm saying to you. Become aware of where you're physically and currently at, mentally, emotionally, spiritually right now. Where are you at? Once you know where you're at, you can build on that. Then identify two things. How did you get there? How did I get to this place? How did I get complacent here? How did I get so ambitious here? Why is that? Why am I in the relationship I'm in? Why am I in the job that I'm in? Why am I at the address that I'm in? Ask yourself these questions. Become aware and then identify how you got there. Then also identify what it is that you want. That's the hardest thing. When I train salespeople and managers, I just ask them the question, what do you want? And like Earl Nightingale said in one of his audio clips, The Strangest Secret, most men don't think. And 1 out of 100 don't think. And I think it's 5 out of 100 are financially independent after like 30 years or so. And why is the rest of the 95 not? It's because you don't think. You're not currently aware of what's going on in your life, and you just kind of go through the motions. And by going through the motions can lead to depression. By going through the motions can lead to substance abuse. By not having a plan and a purpose, you end up going through this life and you kind of drift through, and you get to a point and you realize and you say to yourself, how the hell did I get here? Like the Talking Heads songs. What is going on around me? And you become very confused. And for guys in their middle age, I just heard of another guy in his mid 40s, a friend of my wife's, who unfortunately succumbed to suicide. Very creative, very nice person. I don't know him personally, but got to a point in his life that everybody loved him. Everybody thought he was successful. Everybody thought everything was great. And the guy took his own life because he just didn't see the value in living anymore. That's what it came down to, I guess, from the note. So I have a tendency, and a lot of you listeners, I bet you do too, when you're honest with yourself, have a tendency to be negative. And when you get negative, then you start to maybe blame. And when you blame long enough, you start to get angry. And when you get angry inward, that's really what depression is. And I am here to tell you from the bottom of my heart, I want you to be happy. I know that if you work really hard at something, a worthy and worthwhile purpose, if you work towards that ideal, you're going to find happiness, because that by definition alone is successful. Like I said in the last podcast, if there's people out there that are looking to move their way up in their business, go at it. When you go to work, go at it like you've never gone at work before, like with venom. Like you're just going to go in there and you're just going to crush it. Quadruple your productivity. Just get crazy with it and watch what happens to the results. When I talk about attitude, go in there with the 4 E's, the energy, the excitement, the enthusiasm, the engagement. Almost become a caricature of yourself. Act as if you have all the energy, all the excitement, all the enthusiasm in the world, and then engage with your coworkers and your customers. Just get out there, engage with your family. Become the person that everybody's looking for and watch what happens. It takes one person in your life to follow you when you're like that, and then you have significance. You should already feel significance, but I'm telling you, when somebody else follows you, you then have significance. For example, show a bunch of appreciation and love and affection to your spouse, and what you're going to do is make that person feel significant. Then in turn, that person is going to edify what you're doing through communication, through whatever is going on in your relationship. It's going to get better, but you do yours with no expectation of anything in return. And you keep working on that, and you keep working on it, and that person's going to feel more and more significant. And then in time, your relationship is going to solidify. It's going to galvanize. It's going to become the relationship that you've always wanted. Now apply that principle in work. Apply that principle with your goals. Apply that principle with your children. Anything that you do, just really make it not about you anymore and make everyone else feel significant, and watch what happens to your life. There's a ton of value in what I'm telling you right now. And I know that because there's personal experiences that I have with people that have been in my life and with people that I've met through this podcast who've had significant changes happen for the better, even in bad times, because those are the bad times that actually make us better people. As long as you become aware, as long as you identify how you've got there and you identify what you want, and the two other parts to this small segment about the no comfort zone mindset, you've got to start making decisions. All too often, by not making a decision leads to complacency. And if it's safe for you not to make a decision today, it's safe for you not to make a decision tomorrow. And then your choices diminish. You find yourself in a box. You have very few choices, very few options, and that also can lead to some really bad things. Case in point, the man that I mentioned that committed suicide not long ago, like a couple weeks ago. The fact of the matter is, I think it was his 44th birthday just yesterday, and that's why it was brought up. But think about it. You get yourself into such a slump that you have no more options. What if, just what if you kept your options open, you started exploring more things, you started doing different things, getting more hobbies, getting outside of your comfort zone and going, let's say you've never golfed before, go golf like I'm doing. Let's say that you've always wanted to play tennis, go play tennis. Let's say that you've wanted to work out, go start walking, doing something different. You want to go meet more people, go become part of a book club. Do those things necessary that are just outside of your comfort zone so that you can actually start living a life that has some meaning to it. And it's not all about work. It's not all about your family either. It's really about you and what you feel good at. And if you start putting other people first, you're going to feel great, but you got to be careful. Be careful about that passive aggressiveness. Just because I did something for you doesn't mean you have to do anything for me. The universal law of reciprocation means if I put something out there in the universe, if I do some good deeds, don't get caught. Don't tell anybody. By definition, it's supposed to come back to you in some way, shape, or form, and it might not be when you want it to. Hey, there's a time for sowing and there's a time for reaping, but they don't happen in the same season. Just remember that. You're going to have to do good for a long period of time, and the No Comfort Zone Blueprint is one of those things that helps you stay on point, become aware, identify, decide, and then take massive action. Get out there, take action, take as much action as you possibly can in your life, because tomorrow, it's not promised to anybody. You don't want to be that person that's just like flat, dead battery that nobody wants to be around, that's negative, that's just going through the motions in life. You definitely want to practice what you preach. You want to put it out there and let everybody know what your goals are. And you want to let people know that you're serious about it. And they're either going to help you or they're going to hurt you. Naysayers, get them out of your life. The negative people, the haters, the trolls, that's your fuel for success. And just realize that you are a good person. You are worthy. You are worthwhile. You're just going to have to get a plan and get some support to work with that. And if you don't have the support around you, Dan@thenocomfortzone.com. Email me. Dan, I need support achieving my goals. I'll be your biggest cheerleader. Nothing more than pushing you so that you can start achieving those goals in your life that you're looking for, whatever they may be. You don't have to believe in yourself right now today in order for you to start going in the success path towards your goal. But what you do have to do is you do have to understand that you have to get on the path and working on that path. And I would love to help you stay on that path, help you with that, so that at the end of it, you can raise your hands in the air victoriously that you've actually achieved and accomplished some things in your life that were important to you. You don't want to go through this life without a plan. And that's where the depression comes in. So back to my story about practicing what you preach and what I talked about with my dear wife, who I try to make feel significant. I didn't feel very significant when she said that. And I thought to myself, if you understand why I do what I do, because I want to avoid depression, because I'm aware of where I came from, I'm also very much under the impression that emotionally is how I used to live my life. Now I'm living it with passion, and there's a big difference. Happy, joyous, and free. I don't need drugs or alcohol to be any of that. I don't need anybody in my life to make me happy, joyous, and free. It's because I'm happy, joyous, and free. I have these wonderful relationships in my life who I cherish. I have a great employment. I have great kids. I have wonderful things around me because personally and on the inside, I'm very aware of where I came from, and I'm very aware of where I want to go. It's pretty simple when you think about it. Unfortunately, we get caught up in how we feel, how this is going to affect me. I'm worried about what this person might say. I'm anxious about meeting all these people. I still deal with it on a continual and regular basis. But the difference is, and what I want to share with you is, that when you do this regularly, it's easy to get out of your comfort zone quickly. It's easy to start engaging, and it's easy to start actually realizing your goals. It's not simple, but it is easy. I hope this podcast touched you in some way, some shape, some form, where you can say to yourself, you know what? There's one person out there that believes in me, even if you don't believe in myself, in yourself. There's one person out there, and that person's me. I do care. You're worthy. You're worthwhile. I believe in you. And if you believe in yourself, you can accomplish anything. But it is going to start for you to get out of your comfort zone and live on purpose.
Say goodbye.
Want more of the No Comfort Zone? You can follow Dan on Instagram and Twitter at NoComfortZone1.
Bye.
Or on the web at thenocomfortzone.com.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the No Comfort Zone podcast.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.